You know, folks, this is my first time using the sound recorder on this rec room computer. So I don't know if you can hear me very well, but if you can, hopefully, um, you can understand what I'm about to say. You know, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I mean, I talked about this when it first started. And I still believe in my heart that there was more to this whole government shutdown than just let's halt the Health Care Act of our president. Let's halt this. Let's do that. I always believe that there was something more. But, you know, but I know I'm not the only one that believed that. I'm not the only one that looked at that and honestly said to myself, why? Why do we have to go through this? What's the point? What's to be gained? And I've always believed, and I still believe, if you will, I still believe that there was more to it. I mean, why take 2.5 weeks to solve something that could have easily been solved just as it was last night? I mean, I think I talked about this sort of a couple weeks ago. I said you got to have some kind of compromise. And why does it take so long? I'll tell you why it takes long. It's there's certain people in that Congress, Democratic and Republican, Tea Party conservatives, whatever you want to call them. There are people in that Congress, if you will, that saw a window of opportunity, and they wanted to seize that window of opportunity. They wanted to seize it, and that's exactly what they did. They seized that window of opportunity. But it suddenly closed on them. And why did it suddenly close on them? Because a compromise was reached. But you know what that opportunity was they saw? That opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, that opportunity was to get the president out of office. That was the whole point, was to make him look bad, to the point that they were probably hoping he would be resigning, that he would resign from office. That was the whole reason. That was the real reason, in my opinion, this happened. It wasn't just because of the health care deal, which was a major factor, or the debit default, which was a major factor as well. It was also the fact that some of the people in the Republicans and Democrats side of Congress, as well as the Tea Party conservatives, they saw a window of opportunity, and they said, screw what anybody else thinks. We're going to take this window of opportunity, and we're going to do our best to finally achieve our goal. But does it surprise me that when a compromise was finally made out of this whole ordeal, that it took it took as long as to wee hours into the late night for it to finally be accomplished? I mean, it got done at 9 o'clock Pacific time. 9 o'clock Pacific time, if that is hard to believe. But what's even more crazy, you really want to put the cherry on the top of this? You really want the cherry to be put on top of this? You really want a visual, an audio of that really cements what this 2 weeks have been about? You really want a visual? You really want a visual, visual, an audio evidence of what this 2-week ordeal and government shutdown and near debit default has been about? You want something to really cement how stupid this has been over the past few weeks? right after the bill was passed as by the House, right after this compromising bill was passed by the House, you have a female member, I guess, of the House, I don't know who she is, a stereographer, if you will, go in to the House after it's all said and done and verbally berate what's happened. Yeah, verbally, she grabs the mic, like the mic I got in my hands right now. She verbally berates this whole deal. She berates what's happened, and she basically says one of the words that came out of her mouth was this, and again, you could read this online. You can say, you can type in woman escorted Congress 10, 16, 13. You can read it. You can read that. And technically it states that this woman, if you will, one of the main things that's always been underlined in a lot of the reports of her being escorted out was she said that this is not one nation under God. And that was surprising that she said that. Now, according to the report, she was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. But again, you really want a visual or audio, you really want a visual image or video or audio audio evidence of that really cements what this whole 2 weeks has been about. There you go. That is all you need to hear. That is all you need to see. Is that lady, after it's all said and done, coming out and saying what she did. That pretty much sums up what this whole ridiculous situation's been about. I mean, yeah, you have Congress coming out. You have several members of Congress on both sides, even some of the Tea Party conservatives, that are not happy with the decision. They're not happy because they didn't get what they want. Now, here's what's funny, though. Even though a compromise has been made, it's only a temporary compromise. It's basically an 8.5 to 9 week compromise that goes into January and into February. So basically, the rest of this month, the rest of October, all of November, all of December, all of January, and half of January and early portion of February. An 8-week deal, if not more so. Now, the reason a lot of people say it's about an 8 to 9 week deal is, of course, the holidays are coming up, and even Congress takes time out for the holidays. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that Congress shouldn't have had to go through this. They shouldn't have had to wait to the wee moments of the night, of the late night, just to pass this finally. I mean, honestly, this is my opinion. This is my opinion, and I have this opinion as a right, as my free right as an American. But in my honest opinion, there was more to this than just the whole health care deal and debit deficit and all that. That's, to me, I believe there was more to it. And I believe what was more to it was the fact that Congress, there was certain, come on. You do not think there are certain members of Congress, Republican, Democrat, and Tea Party, that don't want the president gone? You don't think they don't want him out of office? Of course they do. And it's like I said a couple weeks ago on video, on camera, and like I'm saying right now here through this audio. There are people that saw this as an opportunity to make him look bad and maybe hope that he would resign. And it didn't happen. It did not happen. And you know why? Because the window of opportunity shut. Now, will that window of opportunity open up again? Probably. But you've got literally the rest of this month, all of November, half of December, half of January, and the early portion of February to work something out. And I hate to say this, but I think Congress is going to end up doing just that, whether certain members like it or not. Now, the good news about this is Congress is going to be more focused on rebuilding what they broke in the past 2 weeks, and they're just going to put to the side any other issue that's small or medium. Which means for anybody that's worried of another SOPA Act or PIPA Act or Actica, whatever you want to call it, for any of you that are worried about that occurring again, don't worry. Even if it's been considered, guess what? It's going to be shelved for right now. Because in my opinion, what's more important is for them to regain our trust as a country, because they pretty much blew it. And you know what? You want to regain our trust? Here's the deal. Here's the first thing you can do. Stop coming up with these damn proposals and bills just because there are certain people in the entertainment business that can't update themselves with what's going on. That's one thing you can do. Another thing, guess what? Get rid of this whole deal you've had going on for the past year or so now, where pretty much anybody that does a torrent or download, you pretty much strike them, or you slow down their internet, or you do this, or you do that. Get rid of that. You get rid of those kind of things. You get rid of that. You don't ever consider bills like SOPA or PIPA or anything like that again. And that's one way, and that is one, if not two major ways, you can regain the people's trust. Not just financially, and not just by reimbursing those that you furloughed, not just those that depended on your assistance, like the veterans and their families. Not just all of that, which is very important and should be your top priority, but also if you want to regain everybody's trust, then decline, shoot down if you have to, any of these proposals of things that are similar to past attempts like Actica, SOPA, PIPA. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. You want to regain our trust? Top priority. Take care and pay back those that depended on your benefits to support their families. That's your top priority. Take care of them, and then secondly, if you really want to regain the trust, do not ever consider bills like those SOPA and PIPA and Acticas again. And if you want to, quite honestly, this is just an opinion. They want to regain our trust. Get rid of this whole strike deal, this whole 6 Strikes Act, if you will, because quite honestly, that is stupid. That is stupid. It's an invasion of people's privacy. You want to gain people's trust again. They want to regain people's trust. Guess what? The best way to do it, again, top priority, take care of those that depend on you, the veterans and the families, the furloughed, the workers that you had to furlough and now coming back. Take care of them first. That is your main priority, because they need to put food on the table for their families and pay their bills. But then second, most of all, reconsider all these different bills, proposed laws and bills and acts that you've been talking about behind the scenes when it comes to the entertainment industry, because the entertainment industry needs to wake up, ladies and gentlemen, and realize that things have changed. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. The entertainment industry has woken up in several areas. A majority of movie studios and music studios, a majority of movie and entertainment moguls have woken up and accepted that. But there are still several others out there that have not. Now, I can understand, ladies and gentlemen, I can understand that if you want to keep the 6 strikes rule, that's fine. But just like you did with this whole thing that ended the government shutdown, if just temporarily, prevented a debit default, here's what you do. You compromise. You compromise. I know the real reason the 6 strikes deal is done. I know the real reason. The real reason is to prevent those from pirating movies that have not been released to DVD or Blu-ray yet, movies that are still in theaters. If that's the main reason, then you know what you do? You compromise and you make sure that's your main reason. You make sure that's the main reason you have that going. But again, like I said, the top priority for them is to make up to the family, the veterans and the families for shutting down taking away the benefits for 2 weeks, taking away what was important to them, what they depended on. Make up to those that you had to lay off and you're bringing back. Make it up to them because they have to put food on the table for their families. And then, as well as make up to anybody else that depends on your government assistance. People like those like me that have Social Security, make it up to them. And then, when you've gotten that all said and done, and you've gotten that all worked out, start reconsidering these so-called proposed laws and bills. Bills that when we, the people, read about it, just find totally, utterly ridiculous and beyond reasoning. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, this government shutdown, in the end, shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have taken 2 weeks for a compromise to be done, even if a temporary one. It shouldn't have taken this long. It should have just taken within a few days. But again, I'm always a firm believer that there was more to it than what we were seeing on television, what we were hearing on the radio, what was being reported in newspapers. You know, there was more to it. There was more to it. And again, if you want a great visual image, an audio image, or audio evidence, a visual image and audio evidence that basically cements how stupid these past 2 weeks have been, you take a look at that female stereographer and you tell me what's more ridiculous. Huh? What could be more ridiculous? There's your cementing. There's the image and the audio that's going to cement how stupid these past 2 weeks were. And that's really all I have to say about it, folks. I hope and pray, like all of you are, that this never happens again. That when we get to January 15th and February 7th, hopefully even before then, something will be worked out. And again, I'm a firm believer that there was more to this than just a shutdown. There was more to this than just trying to abolish Obamacare. There was more to it than just a debit default. I truly believe it was a window of opportunity that certain people in the Tea Party, conservatives, Republicans, and some people, Republicans and Democrats, saw to try to paste a bad image on our president. You may not like him, but it's like my mom has said. It's like my mom has said, my pastor has said, anybody else has said. God has put him there for a reason. God has a reason for him being there. He does. Whether we like it or not, God has a reason for him being there. And we just got to pray. And so we just got to pray for him to make the right decisions. And that's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And yes, this is my first time using the sound recorder on Windows 7. So peace out. God bless. And I'm out.